Welcome into the Picks, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, your guide to the Texas high school football playoffs. My name's Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I know I did, and I know a lot of teams across the state of Texas had a great Turkey Day celebration. We are down to the regional finals. Just 44 games this week, 88 teams. We've narrowed it down from 704 all the way down to 88, and we're into December. And it's getting serious because right now, you can start to dream. Right now, you can start to be like, 2 more wins and we get to go to Arlington. 2 more wins and we get to be etched in Texas high school football history. 2 more wins and we get to play for it all. It is a massive week of Texas high school football across the state of Texas with regional titles on the line. We will go through all 44 games. We start in Hutto. 7 o'clock Friday night at Hutto Memorial Stadium. It is a 2A Division II regional final between the Junction Eagles and the Shiner Comanches. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number 1, defense first. We're going to talk about the offenses here in a second, but both these teams hang their hat on their defense, and they have been absolutely lights out. That has always been a traditional strength for Shiner, a team that made it to a state championship game a year ago, and their defense has been terrific, again, led by Clayton Fritz. For Junction, their defense is allowing just under 9 points per game, led by Brian Gonzalez. They have been outstanding. They're coming off of a really impressive victory over Granger in the regional semifinals. So, with December on the horizon, which of these defenses can step up? Key number 2, a tale of 2 quarterbacks. So both these quarterbacks are excellent, but they've both taken kind of different journeys to get to this point. For Junction, it's been as scheduled, as expected, with quarterback Chasen Doyle, now a 4-year starter, and what a playmaker he has become, really blossoming, growing, not just year by year, but also week by week. He looks like a guy who's playing his best football right now, a true field general operating the Junction offense. For Shiner, it has been anything but expected. They expected Jake Simper to be their quarterback. He was the guy who led them to a title game last year, but he broke his hand and missed the first half of the season. So they take wide receiver, the sophomore Jarvis Williams, and put him at quarterback. And he's been a revelation. He has been arguably the most dynamic player in all of 2A Division II this year, leading that split back veer offense and giving them a running game that they have really needed. They've got Jake Simper back. They've just kept Jarvis Williams at the quarterback spot because he has been such an asset to them in allowing Jake Simper to be a huge help in other parts of the team. So both these quarterbacks have a story to tell, and both of them have an opportunity to take their team to the state semifinals. Which of them will come up big? And key number 3, the Falls City connection. So follow me on this one because both these teams are undefeated, so it's hard to point out weaknesses and split these two teams because they've both been so excellent this year. But they do have a really interesting common opponent, and it's the Falls City Beavers. So Shiner played Falls City in district play, and the Beavers gave them a real run. The final score was 21-14, and Shiner came away with the win, obviously, but they got pushed by the Beavers. Falls City also played Junction twice. They played them in non-district play, and then they played them again in the playoffs, and Junction had no trouble with Falls City, beating them by a combined score of 90-13 in those 2 games. And so you might look at this and say, okay, well, we have a data point here that would show that Junction handled Falls City a lot better than Shiner. Now, I don't know if that necessarily holds up, right? Because there can be matchup issues. Maybe Junction just matches up better with Falls City. Falls City knows Shiner a lot better, so maybe they just have a better game plan for them. But it's certainly worth considering. The question is, when dividing these 2 teams, how much does that path to get here matter? Who am I picking? I'm going with Shiner. The Comanches get the champion's advantage here. They are the team that won the region a year ago. They're the team that played for a state championship a year ago. They have been in these big spots before. They knocked out Junction in this spot last year. They are, in my opinion, the team to beat. And Jarvis Williams' addition to the split back veer offense, I think, has really given them an extra gear. Now, for Junction, I think the first quarter is absolutely critical. Go back to last year's regional final. Shiner jumped out on Junction early, and they basically held them at arm's length the rest of the way. Junction is much more suited to play from ahead in this game. They need to strike early and send a message in this ball game. But for now, I'm going with the team that did it last year. I think Shiner moves on to the state semifinals. 7 o'clock Friday night at Thorne Stadium in Houston. It is a 6A Division II regional final as the Humble Summer Creek Bulldogs take on the Sheldon C.E. King Panthers. This is one of 20 games we've already seen this year, 20 rematches in the regional final. This was a Week 7 contest in district play, and it was a signature victory for C.E. King, 42-28 over Summer Creek, and they were spectacular. Since then, in the playoffs, C.E. King has been exceptional. They have beaten their first 3 playoff opponents by a combined score of 159-13. They are rolling right now. For Summer Creek, they're here, but they have had to battle through some adversity. They had a crazy come-from-behind win over Katy last week to get here, but they are here, and that is all that matters. Go back to the Week 7 matchup. What mattered in that ballgame? Well, Dion Sims for C.E. King ran for 160 yards and a score, and Timothy Potts, their quarterback, threw for a pair of touchdowns. They had great balance, but more importantly, C.E. King jumped on Summer Creek early, and they made Summer Creek abandon the running game. Now, as good as quarterback Noah Spinks is, and as good as their wide receiver core with Benny Easter and Jamaica Jones is, I think that this Summer Creek attack is a lot better when they get the running game going, led by Braylon Causey. They have got to be balanced. I think the first quarter in this ball game is absolutely critical. It's going to tell us a lot about the way this game is going to go. I think C.E. King, their defense is the difference. I think the Panthers move on to the state semifinals. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Green Stadium in Bryan. It is a 5A Division II regional final as the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears take on the Port Neches Groves Indians, and they're at it again. These two teams have become very accustomed to one another. To catch you up, back in 2022, South Oak Cliff knocked off Port Neches Groves in the state championship game. 2023, P&G returned the favor and knocked off Sauk in the state championship game. And then last year in the rubber match in the regional final, it was South Oak Cliff with an emphatic victory over the Indians. This year's matchup, the good on good, the money matchup here is the Port Neches Groves defense, led by Jackson Winfrey, going up against the South Oak Cliff offense, specifically the running game with Mikhail Trotter and Levon Morton. South Oak Cliff ran for almost 500 yards last week in their win over previously unbeaten Terrell. Meanwhile, P&G held Midlothian Heritage to under 100 total yards in their regional semifinal win. So that's the good on good. That's the money matchup. That's what we're all paying to see. The other side of the ball is where things get complicated because Port Neches Groves quarterback Connor Bailey is out for the year with an injury, and that just sucks. Like, we can just say that sucks objectively because we want to see these two teams at full strength go at it, and Connor Bailey has been such a star for this P&G program. They will turn now to the sophomore backup Jake Ashworth, who has been serviceable. He was really good in his first win in the area round over Ennis. Last week, Midlothian Heritage made him look a little bit more like a sophomore. That is going to be the challenge up against what has been a ferocious South Oak Cliff defense. This is going to be a real challenge for that sophomore quarterback, and I think that is going to be the difference here. I think that the South Oak Cliff defense comes up with a couple of big plays. I like the Golden Bears to come away with a win. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Vernon Newsom Stadium in Mansfield. It's a 4A Division I regional final as the Alvarado Indians take on the Salina Bobcats. It's a battle of unbeatens and an opportunity for Alvarado to dethrone the state champs. Alvarado rang up more than 500 yards in their win last week over Springtown, previously unbeaten Springtown. And what can you say about this offense? KJ Jenkins, their quarterback, has been terrific. DeMarcus Belton, my goodness, at the running back spot, a threat out of the backfield to catch it as well. He has been absolutely remarkable. That will be a real challenge for the Salina defense, which is traditionally very sturdy and very sturdy again this year, led by Luke Biagini. Here is the ball game, and that is, what is the status of Bo Bentley, the quarterback for Salina, the Dave Campbell's Texas football cover boy, and a guy who is committed to Oklahoma, one of the very best quarterbacks in all of Texas high school football. Left last week's game in the second quarter against Decatur with an injury, did not return. And that is a huge question because obviously he is the straw that stirs the drink, and they're already been without their star running back, Logan Gutierrez. This is a wounded Salina team. So for now, I am going to assume that Bo Bentley plays. And if Bo Bentley plays, I think Salina gets the win. If he doesn't, obviously that comes with a huge asterisk, and I know I'm kind of waffling here at this, but he is such an important part to this ballgame. I like Salina with the champion's advantage if Bo Bentley is healthy, but we're obviously paying a lot of attention to this one. 7 o'clock Friday night at Gustafson Stadium in San Antonio. It's a 3A Division I regional final as the Llano Yellow Jackets take on the Edna Cowboys. It's the Region 4 final, and we have not talked enough about the Llano defense. My goodness, the number 5 scoring defense in all of 3A Division I. Austin Humphreys leads the way for this ball club defensively. They make plays. They have 40 takeaways this year. 40! They've been unbelievable at taking the ball away. And by the way, they're getting healthy at the right time. Quarterback Luke Davis, who missed a long period of the season with injury, is back and he is dealing. Well, here comes the giant. Because Edna has not just been a Region 4 force, but they have been a particular thorn in the side of Llano, knocking them out of the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 seasons. Now, last week, they squeaked by Cinderella story Ingram Moore, thanks to a defensive masterclass led by Hunter Buring. They're going to need to get things going. We know what they want to do offensively. They want to run the dang ball with Maverick Robertson, but they can also throw the ball a bit with Trevor Floyd. They're a little bit more balanced, I think, than they have been in the past couple of years. If Llano's going to do it, it's going to be this year. This does feel, though, like Edna may just have Llano's number. And I hate to say that, but I think that that is the case because this Edna offensive line, I think, is going to be the difference in this ballgame. I like the Cowboys to move on to the state semifinals. And we will punch our first 4 tickets to AT&T Stadium in Arlington this week in the 6-man state semifinals. 6:30 p.m. Friday night at Wolf Stadium in Colorado City. It is a 1A Division II state semifinal between the Jayton Jaybirds and the Klondike Cougars. It is the game of the year in 1A Division II. A battle of unbeatens, and at the very least, the winner of this game will be the favorite to win the state championship because the West, Region 1 and Region 2, will probably be favored over the East, Region 3 and Region 4. And this is the game we've been waiting for. Jayton, the defending state champs, winners of 28 in a row, they have been spectacular. Quarterback Sean Stanlin has been great, and they have got Bodie Ham running the ball as well. This team is loaded for bear. Well, here comes Klondike with spread back Jared Quintanilla leading the way, and they have a superstar junior in Cannon McGee who can do a little bit of everything in this one. Look, this, like I said, this is the game of the year, and your mileage may vary. If you think that Klondike is going to win, you are absolutely right. And if you think Jayton's going to win, you are also absolutely right. At this point with this game too close to call, I go with the champion's advantage. Jayton's been there. They've done that. They do it again. I think the Jaybirds return to AT&T Stadium to defend their crown.
The Picks is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Don't have time to go to a Dick's store this week? Just go to dicks.com.
Yo, these Katie's are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can go all pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
But those are far from the only big games in the regional final of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I like Galena Park North Shore over Dickinson, and it's a DFW game we've been waiting for. I like North Crowley over Allen. It's a rematch of a District 11 6A matchup, but I think Duncanville avenges that loss with a win over Waxahachie. And I know that Austin has dominated San Antonio, but there's something about this Johnson team. I like San Antonio Johnson over Lake Travis. 6A Division II now, I like Southlake Carroll to stay perfect with a win over Denton Geyer. Dripping Springs and Vandegrift played back in the season opener, and now they'll meet in the regional final. I like Drip to beat Vandy, and give me DeSoto, who may be playing better than anyone in Texas right now, to beat Willis. 5A Division I now, I think Frisco Lone Star finally gets past Highland Park, and it's a district rematch. I like Aledo over Denton Ryan. Another district rematch, I like Smithson Valley to take down New Braunfels. And another district rematch, I like Port Arthur Memorial to stay perfect with a win over Barbers Hill. 5A Division II now, I like Argyle in a close one over Melissa. I'm riding with Bernie to take down Alamo Heights, and give me Richmond Randall to take down Iowa Colony again. 4A Division I now, I'm going with Kilgore to take down Fort Bend Crawford. I think San Antonio Davenport dethrones regional champion Lavernia. And give me Stephenville to stay perfect with a win over Canyon West Plains. 4A Division II now, it's a rematch of a non-district neutral site game. I like Waco La Vega over West Orange Stark. And I've been riding with Midland Greenwood all year. I ain't hopping off the bandwagon now. I think the Rangers take down Brock. I think Sinton gets some revenge with a win over Cuero, and I'm rolling with Carthage to take down district rival Athens. 3A Division I now. Points will be at a premium, but I like Paradise over Peaster. Give me Columbus to keep rolling with a win over Yoakum, and I'm going with Pottsboro to get a win over Grandview. 3A Division II now. I like Wall to stay perfect with a win over Idalou, and I like Tidehaven to stay perfect with a win over East Bernard. Give me Newton to keep rolling with a win over ARP, and Gunner takes down district rival Leonard. 2A Division I now. I'm riding the hot hand. I like Stinnett West Texas to take down Cisco. And after a cathartic win over Ganado, I think Refugio keeps it rolling with a win over Mason. Region 2's been so unpredictable this year, but I like Axtell to get a win over Hamilton. And I ain't picking against Joaquin. Playoff Joaquin is here. I think they get a win over St. Augustine. 2A Division II now. I like Bremond to beat Mount Enterprise, but keep an eye on this one. Kagan Ash of Mount Enterprise could set a number of records in this one. I like Groover to get a win over Stratford, and I like Munster to beat Lindsay in the Kraut Bowl 2.0. And we're punching tickets to AT&T Stadium in the 6-man semifinals. In 1A Division II, I like Richland Springs over Strawn. In 1A Division I, I like Gordon over Union Hill, and I like Water Valley over Rankin. And those are the picks. I picked all 44 UIL Texas High School football playoff games. So now you can let me know, what am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2025 Texas High School football playoffs at texasfootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the regional finals. We'll see you.